Hey guys, oh my gosh. So it's been a minute, right? My last video was about 9-ish months ago. Please forgive me, but I am back and I'm ready. I'm ready to stay, okay? But let me go ahead and just give y'all a rundown of where I've been for the last months, what I've been doing, because there's a reason, right? There's been so much going on. The first part is that I got married. Okay, last year had been, just the last bit of planning, getting everything ready. But in October, we did get married, so that's super exciting. After that, we ended up going to Europe for our honeymoon. We had 2 weeks, first in Italy and then in Greece. Let me see, we went to Rome and Positano, and then we went to Greece and we saw Crete and Santorini, and oh my gosh, it was it was just amazing. Like if you've ever been to one of those places, they are just breathtaking, right? And I would say my favorite one particularly was Santorini. Not to be cliche, but it was stunning, okay? Just had a cough attack. But like I was saying, it was absolutely stunning. Um, Not only did we go to these amazing places for our honeymoon, and now this is the part where I'm going to start to share about how honestly, like all of the work that I've been doing with my own nervous system, that my, now husband has been doing, and the way we've been just working on ourselves, but also working on our businesses, like genuinely, we have manifested a lot, okay? Like things I never really thought maybe were possible, right? Like things I did not grow up having, okay? So not only did we go to Italy and Greece for 2 weeks, amazing, everything was planned out. We had a travel planner and everything. We had first class tickets, you know, to this place, like on these long flights, getting to experience the first class experience, a lay flat seat, like, oh my goodness, like check it out, you know? Um, so it was amazing, like better than I could have ever imagined. I did when I was younger always say, I want to go to Italy for my honeymoon, and you know what? We went to Italy and Greece, right? So that's just it's wild. Okay, so not only did we do all that, we had our wedding, everything, it was all great. And then, well, there's another part before the wedding that I will get to at another time. But I did have a falling out with one of my best friends at the time. I'm talking over 10-year long relationship, okay? This was painful. This was heartbreaking. And we're going to talk about it later, okay? I'll leave that video for another time. Drop it in the comments if you want to hear about that, okay? I will eventually get to it. But going back to the good stuff. So despite all that, we went on the honeymoon, great wedding, all that, blah blah blah. Amazing. And then so we get back, I'm still working on the therapy business, the coaching, right? Um, I did my second live master class for the coaching from burnout to magnetic, and we had over almost six, I think, yeah, over 600 people signed up for this thing, right? So that's crazy to me. I mean, that's amazing, right? Um, so in the past year, I did two free master classes. The first one had over 550 registered, and over 100 people showed up live, right, to the thing. And then the second one, over 600 people registered. I think it was about around 50-ish, maybe a little bit more people showed up live. Now, the technique that I used for both of them, as far as when I started advertising for it, there were two different techniques, and I think I will go back to the first technique in the first time, right? That's again also for another video, and why I want to come back onto YouTube. I really do have a lot of things going on that are a part of my life, and that contribute and showcase the development of nervous system safety, the development of manifesting the life that you want to live, and things are coming together, okay, so yeah, did all the master classes that got some of my first coaching clients in through my course Safe and Secure, and that's been awesome. Like, it's been awesome to see people going through the course, completing the work in it and just having amazing feedback. So I've gotten some really great feedback from that, which has been awesome. But things have slowed down a little bit, and I'm trying to figure out the new format, right? Because obviously I'm getting great feedback. I know what's in there is life changing, and it has already changed people's lives. And so I have now restructured it into this monthly membership, um, where it comes with the community, it comes with the live coaching, as well as the course, which I think will be more supportive overall for continued change, continued identity shifts. Um, and that's something I'm going to link in the bio, either in the bio here or down in the caption. Okay, so it's going to be there. But that's what I'm working on right now. I still have my therapy business. I still have the Lucky Lady coaching, right? And we're just trying to grow. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to create more of a community, right? Um, so that is what's happening work wise. And then going back to personally, right? So yeah, we went on the honeymoon, got married, all that, blah blah blah. And that was in October, right? We had Thanksgiving, saw family, all that, did some traveling. Then in January, I had my birthday trip to St. Lucia. Oh my gosh, it was insane. Like, this was go- not only was it beautiful, but we also stayed in this 5-star resort called Ladera. Okay, and this is such a unique experience because you are literally like outside. Okay. So basically, there are only 3 walls, right? And the whole fourth wall is not there. Like, you are exposed to the elements, during your time there. So we got there and it was amazing, gorgeous. I cried when I walked in. It was amazing. The service, oh my gosh, like absolutely phenomenal. The service was phenomenal. We both loved it so much. I will say it was interesting adjusting to being outside. In St. Lucia, it's a bit hot, right? So it was a bit hot, and we hadn't really done camping and things like this. So this was, I would say, very luxurious glamping. Okay, very luxurious. So it was great. We had, I think, scheduled four days, but then all of a sudden there is a snowstorm in Texas, right? And this is over my birthday, right? And then there's a snowstorm in Texas, our home base, right, in Dallas, and our flight back gets canceled. Like, literally, they can't get us back like until 2 days later. So we end up, universe blesses us with 2 more nights in St. Lucia. That's how I would describe it. It's like, guess we just needed more time, right? And hearing other people's stories of how, like, their hotel didn't have space, they had to go find a new hotel, all this. So our hotel, like, had space, and they gave us a what was it, a distress discount, and we basically got half off. I think it was about half off. Yeah, it was substantial. It was at least a few $100s off per night, for us to get to stay longer, and to be able to stay there. And we got an upgraded suite. Like, it's just, mm, like, I am a lucky lady. Like, when I share that, like, things happen for me. And yeah, like, like, not to toot my own horn, but it's like things are happening for me, for me or for my husband. Like, these things happen, and it happens in the best ways. Even like, someone could have looked at getting your flight canceled as a bad thing, but no, we just went with it. Um, and it turned out great. So we had a great time. We got extra days. I had asked, God, source for a birthday rainbow on, I think it was the day before my birthday or the day of my birthday. It didn't happen on the birthday, right? But the next day, we're at the spa, we're having a massage, and guess what I see? A freaking rainbow. As soon as we as soon as we wake up from our massage, it is right there. Like right, I didn't even have my phone in the massage room, so I couldn't take a picture of how beautiful and striking it was right there. But I did take a picture of when I was walking out later. Um, I mean, and it was amazing, So I'm just noticing more things are happening, more things are manifesting in this physical plane, right? And it's amazing. And so, so very grateful for all this coming to fruition, right? And so that was the birthday, right? And then Alex and I we're in search of a house now. Like we're ready to make that next move. We're ready for the next chapter. So we had been searching this kind of on our own for the past few months, and recently had gotten into contact with a realtor from one of our family friends, who connected us with this lady. And within a week, like, actually, Alex had found a home and just put it into the portal for us all to look at. Um, and we had a certain budget, and the one that he put in there was a little above the budget, right? But we were like, it's real nice, right? And so we go to this one, we go to take a look at it in person. I mean, it's got everything that we've said we wanted in a house, right? And I'm talking everything. Not only that, there are pomegranate trees on the property, already rose bushes planted. There's a jujube tree. And I'm like, of course we would get pomegranates and jujube trees and all, like, of course. Like it's perfect. It's got everything we ever wanted. Literally so many details, right, that we had wanted. And then also, I had this is a wild part too. I had gone to a psychic years and years and years ago. I mean, I'm not that old, right? But it was about maybe, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago at this point. And the psychic had told me at that point, and at this point, I was with another guy. I was in a different relationship. All that she told me, and I had my ex best friend at the time was also there, and she told me that I'm gonna move to Texas. One, and I'm like, why would I move to Texas, right? Of course I'm in Texas. And then she says that we're gonna have a house with pillars. And guess what? The house has pillars, okay? The house has pillars. She also said I was gonna have 5 kids. We'll see how that unfolds. Who knows? We'll see how it goes, right? But yeah, just things are unfolding. And when I tell y'all, like, this is a nice house. This is a nice house in a nice area. Okay. And again, I don't want to brag. I don't want to brag, but I want to let y'all know that these manifestations are manifesting, okay? And I can only attribute that to truly the inner work that I have done, the work that my husband and I have, his inner work as well, our connection with God and source, right? Of developing that connection. Really, yeah, doing the inner work, all of that inner work, connection to source, and continuing to stay in this positive energy even when circumstances try to push us differently, right? Because it's not that I'm happy all the time. It's not that I'm never angry or never sad or no, like I cry a lot, I am emotional. Um but I have a safe and secure center that doesn't get swayed, and this is what I am trying to teach you guys. Okay, this is what I'm trying to teach y'all because I did not come from money, right? Like, I would say we grew up middle class, right? Grew up middle class, had enough, had the things we needed, and also had some wants. But I worked since I was 17. My parents said if I don't work hard, like, I'll be on the street. Like, I can't go to college pretty much. Like, they're not going to pay for it, and that's okay. Like, I understood that from a young age. Okay, hard, I have to work hard. And that's a lot of the same conditioning a lot of the women that I work with have, of like hard work is the answer, and hard work is part of it, right? But at some point you begin to realize there's so much more at play here, right? There's good versus evil here. Don't even get me started on the files. Okay, and that's for another video as well. But that, more than anything, should show there is good and evil in this world. You know, there are invisible forces at work. Um, and God wants to connect with you, okay? Like, if you want to have these big, amazing things, these dreams, you can have that, you know? And it doesn't all have to be hard work, grind, push through, okay? I've done it that way, right? And it can work and it burns you out. Um, there's so much to it, though, right? There is so much to this. Um, but at the core is creating this center that is unshakable, right? This trust and security in yourself and in your connection with the divine, that you will be okay. Okay? So I just wanted to catch you guys up, right? We are going to be moving into this amazing new place next month. Okay, so this background's going to be different, and y'all are going to see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm so excited. I'm going to be taking y'all on this journey. Okay, I've decided that, yeah, I'm just gonna start talking about what's going on, what I'm doing, what's happening in my life. I'm also on a health journey right now with yeah, I'm just drinking my water. I am behind on my water today, okay? But doing my workouts, I'm working with a functional metabolism specialist, and anyway, just a fancy way to say I'm looking holistically at my health, as Alex and I also want to start trying to have a family in a few months. So I'm going to take y'all on this ride as we go through these transitions in life, um, and let y'all into what I know, what I teach to women all the time in therapy and coaching. And if you ever need some help, if you're interested in working on this, working with me, check out the offer that I have in the bio, okay, or in the caption. It'll be somewhere in there. Because yeah, this work will change your life, and it is changing mine completely. Okay, so thank y'all so much for being here. Go ahead, like, subscribe, comment below what you want to see in the future, any questions you have. Your subscribes mean the world, for real. Like, I'm so excited to grow this, to connect more with y'all, and to create a true community, this lucky lady community on here and within my paid offering. So thank y'all so much. Stay tuned, and I'll see y'all later, lucky ladies. Bye.